I picked up this Parkside 20-watt paint sprayer, and today I'm going to find out if this small battery-powered sprayer can actually make painting easier. Before we start, I should mention that I never used a paint sprayer before. This is my first time using one, so you get to see my experience as a complete beginner. So let's start by taking a look at what's included and get this paint sprayer ready for the first test. First up, the manual, which I'm definitely going to spend some quality time with. Next up is this paper funnel with a built-in mesh filter. It filters out any lumps or debris before the paint goes into the paint container. It's very papery though, pretty thick paper but still just paper. And you only get one of these, so don't lose it. Uh-oh. This fluffy thing is the exhaust filter, and it goes right here. The next accessory is this funny looking thing, the DIN cup. It's used to measure the paint viscosity, or how thick the paint is. The manual says the paint should be below 70 DIN per second. And we're going to check our paint later in the video. We have the cleaning needle for clearing clogged nozzles, and we also get our cleaning brush for cleaning the inside of the sprayer. And the last three accessories are these different size nozzles. You get a 1.5, a 1.8, a 2.2 and a 2.6 millimeter nozzle. One of them comes pre-installed on the sprayer. The nozzles are not marked, so I marked them myself with a security pen, because that was all I could find. But now I have an excuse to use my Southern SC1. You can find a link at the end of this video. Now to the sprayer. On the lower front part we have the paint container. It's made out of pretty solid plastic and can hold up to 40 fluid ounces or 1200 milliliters of paint. The trigger is located just above the paint container. It has a really satisfying click when pressed, and it's pretty comfortable. You can adjust the spray amount by turning the adjustment wheel in the plus or minus direction. Moving on to the front of the sprayer, we have the nozzle assembly. It consists of three parts. First, we have the nozzle. This is what determines how much paint flows through the sprayer by using different nozzle sizes. Next is the nozzle head, which lets you adjust the spray pattern between horizontal, vertical and round. And finally, we have the union nut, which holds everything together. Before we start painting, let's quickly go through some of the key specifications and measurements. According to Parkside, the paint application rate is 2 square meters per minute, with a maximum flow rate of 700 millimeters per minute, and a runtime of approximately 18 minutes with a 2 amp hour battery. I also measured the noise level myself, and during operation it reached around 85 decibels. And now to the painful DIN test. No, this did not turn into a shopping channel. This is just my temporary paint mixing station. And this is the paint we're going to use, an indoor window paint. So how does this work? You dip the cup into the paint until it's completely full, then lift it out and let it drain. According to the manual, it should empty in 70 seconds or less. If it takes longer than that, you need to add water until it's within that limit. First, let's see where this paint ends up without adding any water. It's 1 minute, it's not even 10%. I'm going to put in 20 milliliters of water and mix it, and then try again. Here we go again. 70 seconds. It's a little better. Let's try with 20 ml more water. And 70 seconds. Now maybe 30%. It's at half now. So, we ended up adding 110 milliliters of water, and it still didn't drain within 70 seconds. I'm not sure why. We can't really add any more water, that's just too much. So let's stop here and see how well it actually sprays. The thing we're going to paint is the base for my laser printer. This project goes hand in hand with another video, and I'll leave a link at the end if you want to check it out. I'm switching to a bigger nozzle because it doesn't work that well. Or I have too thick paint. I don't know. I'm going to try with a bigger nozzle. It's pretty hot after that, but it's actually very hot outside too, so my bad. And there's a decent amount of paint left, so we can paint the next side too with this paint. I forgot to hit record while spraying the second side, so sorry about that. But the finish turned out really nice. For some reason the spray pattern suddenly became much tighter. I don't know why. All that's left is to clean the sprayer now, so let's do that. So, what did I think about the sprayer? Honestly, it was much better than I expected. It's lightweight, comfortable to hold, and easy to handle. It's not heavy, and it's not as loud as I expected. It actually sounds much worse on camera than it does in real life. Even though the din test didn't go as planned, the finish turned out excellent. Much better than I expected, and definitely better than what I could achieve with a roller. The things I don't like are that it feels quite plastic and the nozzle parts are also made of plastic. I'm not sure if that's normal for a paint sprayer at this price point since this is my first one. It's also not the most powerful sprayer, so larger projects will take some time. For bigger surfaces a roller might actually be faster, but for do-it-yourself projects, furniture and smaller wooden projects I think it works really well. It's definitely not made for professional work, but as a first paint sprayer for do-it-yourself use, I think it's a fantastic little machine. I would really like to know what went wrong with the din test. If you have any experience with paint sprayers or know what might have happened, please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it, because it somehow still worked pretty well, but I still don't know why. So that's it for this video. This was a lot of fun to make and I hope you enjoyed watching it. If this video helped you or if you just enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe. It helps me more than you think. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.